Hi everyone, it's Alexandra from Hedgehog Hollow blog, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do two really easy cards just by changing the orientation of them. You can get something that looks really different. I've decided to do these ones as sympathy cards as I've needed a few recently and haven't had any. But we're also going to stamp something slightly different on today's one. So I've used the designer series paper that's actually retiring, which is the Timeless Elegance, and I'm really sad it's retiring, but I was hoarding it, so I've had to get it out to share with you all. So as usual, all the dimensions will be on the blog post after, but we're going to start off with our card bases and layer them up. So to begin with, we're going to use some very vanilla as our card base, and I've used A4 UK A4, so you will need to just adjust them if you're using the US 8.5 by 11. So I'm just going to fold these two over like this. And then I've pre-cut all my layers to save a bit of time. So we've got underneath here some Sahara Sand, some basic black, and then our Timeless Elegance. And then for the other one, I've just reversed the layers the other way. So I've got basic black, then Sahara Sand, and then my Timeless Elegance DSP. So let me stick these all together so we can put on our card fronts. These are really quick and easy cards, but they look really lovely to pop in the post. Now with the samples that I showed you in the beginning, I used this pretty doily lacy design, and you'll notice that I had to recut them slightly so that they both laid right based on the orientation. But with the roses, I just cut strip and cut them up, and it just happened to be that they looked perfect to be mounted onto cards. I didn't have to waste anything. Okay, so there's your two bases, and I can put those straight onto my bases. So, that's one. And here's our second one. Okay, and we're again going to do two different types of sentiment, and I'm going to use the same set that I used for my sympathy cards, which is the Rose Wonder set, currently in the Spring Summer Mini, and it is carrying over to the new catalogue. And in case you didn't see yesterday's video, I can give you a sneak peek of what the catalogue front looks like. There's lots of lovely things inside, and I did one video yesterday on 3-step stamping, which was a tutorial on using one of the new sets out the catalogue and how to do 3-step stamping, depending how many ink pads you actually have in your collection. And I've got a few more to show you as my pre-order arrived this morning, so watch out for those. So I'm just going to pop them on different blocks so I can stamp them straight out, and I'm going to use my basic black, and my new one arrived this morning, so it should be nice and juicy. So I'm going to leave a bit of space around it to cut out my banner, like that. And then my second sentiment, which says, somehow God knew I needed a friend just like you. And I've got a few people I can send that one to. But because it's a new and it's a photopolymer, you may have seen before, I always just rub it over my stamping scrub. Don't need to spray any mist or anything on, but it just takes that gooey residue off from when they're new. There we go. So that's that one done. And then I'm going to cut it out using the banner framelets. I seem to be having a run of using these at the moment. And I think I used the middle two. Let me just have it. Use that one. And I used that one. I think that might need some new sticky on it. Okay, so we're going to do our smaller one first. That one's probably easier to do first. I'm going to pop that on there. And a little bit of my painter's tape. Always just stick to me first. Just take a little bit of the tack off of it. Like that. Like that. And we'll just trim the edges off so it'll fit my little Spellbinders sapphire. Pop that back into my scraps. So just to run through the papers in case you haven't looked at the blog. So it's half a sheet of A4 Very Vanilla. It was 5 1/4 by 4 inches of the Sahara sand, or your first bigger layer, so basic black Sahara sand. Then 5 by 3 3/4 inches of the basic black, or your inner layer. So again, it could be basic black or Sahara sand, just reverse them through. And then it was 4 3/4 by 3 1/2 of the DSP. And then I've used Very Vanilla, and I'm going to use some basic black on my framelit, so you'll need that as well. So that's one framelit. You might be able to hear Tilly in the background. We're having a teething day, so she's not very happy today. So she's just in the lounge, hopefully going to go for a nap while we do these. Okay, so this is our 2 bottom layers, and then I'll just bring over our original card again. So we're now going to do our black, slightly bigger layer. You could make it a bit more snug around your sentiments and use the banner triple if you haven't got the banner framelits in a big shot. That's another option as well. For now. And then we need to cut 2 of these. Just tack it off on that. Cut my strip. And I think this one fits, if I remember. Yeah. So again, we'll just pop this one through. This is so convenient on my desk, and it means I don't have to keep getting up and down for a big shot. Okay. There's one. I think this is actually probably the most time-consuming bit of the card, is cutting out all your different banner labels. One. Put that out there. Cut on the right plate. I love how they've labelled each of these. So A is your base plate, and it says base plate on it. I didn't line that up very well. And then it says your cutting plate, and you get an embossing plate, so you can use your little thinlets in it. And you get one of the little rubber mats as well. If you're using a stencil, you can emboss with that as well, with your framelits. So pop that to the side. And it does stick to your table as well. I know I just was a bit wobbly, but it does stick to your table, so it can be really firm as well. So we'll just layer these up with the snail. And both my, there we go, our landscape sentiments this time. Okay. So I think I'm going to have this one as my landscape one, because that would be really nice across the top. And I'm going to put this across the bottom. Yeah, put it up on one side like that. And then the happy birthday I'm going to do as my portrait, and I'm going to pop this just there like that. Okay. And I'm going to pop these up on some dimensionals, because we can't have a card without dimensionals. So. Sure I put it on the right way, it wouldn't be the first time. Oh, I've got the sniffles again. And I'm going to lay that at the bottom like that. Oh, I'm not. I'm going to move it up just a tad. So that's better. So that's our first one done. And then we'll peel the back off of this one. That one. And then that's our landscape one. And that one actually to me looks a little bit plain. So what I'm just going to do is grab some gold ribbon, like that. And this is often what I do. So even when I duplicate a card like this, no two ever come out the same. So I'm going to make a pretty little bow like that. I'm going to snip. Oh, snip my finger at the same time. Just try not to get blood on my card. And let me just grab a glue dot, as this wasn't a planned bit. I didn't have them on the desk. Excuse me bleeding everywhere. And there we go. So there's the two we've made today, using exactly the same techniques and the same paper set. So that's the Timeless Elegance DSP, and I'll also just pop on here, those out of the way, the original two that we copied. So using all the same supplies, you can make some really different cards. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye.